If you've ever held on to something just in case, then today's video is for you. Let's go. Hello, welcome back to The Crafty Organizer. I'm Noreen Eppley, and I love bringing you ways to declutter, get organized, do DIYs, upcycles, and anything crafty. Today, I'm going to walk you through some of the questions that I ask myself and I use with my clients to help them let go of those difficult things, but also give you some suggestions on much better ways to rehome them besides just donating. Many of us have tried decluttering and it gets overwhelming because you don't know what to do. With every single item comes an emotion, a guilt, an expectation, an overwhelmment. So how do you get through these things? Oftentimes we attach things like sentimental value, or we think about the money that we spent on it, or we look at it going, oh, I should have been working on this. I put so much money into it. I meant to work on it. I never did. So you start feeling this obligation to keep it because of the money, time, emotion invested in it. So how do you get through just letting it go? I start with some of these questions. When was the last time I used this? This is such a great question to ask because you can give yourself your own time frame. Some people are really quick. If they buy something and they don't use it in 6 months, they can let it go. I am not one of those people. I know I can use this someday. I give myself a 1 or 2 year grace period. And then if I still haven't used it, I let it go. But there are some rare items that were such a good find, I still keep them. So asking yourself when the last time you used it was, setting a time frame to try and use it within that window will really help you to pare down those other things. If you've never used it and you go, yeah, I'm probably never going to use it, it's easier to let go. But if you're thinking, I know, but I might still use it, put a date on that item. Get some blue painter's tape, put it in a bag with a date, put a sticky note on it, however you want to mark it, and whatever duration you're comfortable with, but set that time frame so that when you revisit it, you can say, yep, the first time I looked at it, I hadn't used it in 2 years. I gave myself a year to use it. I still haven't. You already know you're not going to. It'll be easier to let go. Another great question to ask, would I buy this again? This is a favorite of mine because we cycle through interests. Our lives change, our lifestyles change. So if you're at a point right now where, I wouldn't buy any of these things today, for me, that's scrapbooking items. There was a time I would walk into those scrapbook stores. I would spend 30, 45 minutes just walking through the aisles, looking at the new products, going through scrapbooking magazines, and so much time and money was devoted to those things. I am more of a digital scrapbooker now. If I do a little bit of scrapbooking, honestly, I already have so many elements for card making that I do. I don't ever need to buy a scrapbook item again. So as I'm going through, if I've got pads of 12 by 12 paper, chances are I'm not going to be coordinating them with future scrapbook pages, so it's easier for me to let go. But maybe your hands aren't as nimble as they once were, or if there's something outside you're not able or willing to do those types of tasks. If it's not something you would buy for your existing lifestyle, it's easier to let go of those things. A really hard question to ask yourself is, am I keeping this out of guilt, obligation? For me, this is the things my kids have made me or a sentimental gift someone gave me from my past. It might have been something I didn't like, didn't want, but because someone took the time to make it for me, I'm going to keep it. The sad thing is, I might be keeping it in a box or a bag and putting it in a closet. So if this is an item you are simply keeping because of a guilt or obligation, I'm going to tell you how to get rid of these things, but this is an easy one to set aside so that you can get rid of it in one of the ways I'm about to suggest. This one truly is such a good question to ask yourself. Does this item support the life and space I am trying to create? Oh, I love this one because if you really want a creative space, if you want a minimal space, if you want a tranquil space, and you're looking at these things saying, this doesn't add to any of that type of space I want to have, don't let it into your space. If you're trying to create, my daughter's going through this right now. She's trying to create the dark academia. Keeping those cute little bright, colorful stuffed animals she had from a child does not fit into that current life she wants to create. It's much easier for her to let those things go. I'm trying to create a creative but tranquil workspace. So having a lot of extra clutter and supplies does not support what makes me feel good when I walk into that room. By knowing what kind of a space that I want right now, those extra things are easier to let go of. This is probably the one that I think will help you the most. Does someone else need this more right now than I could someday? Think about what that is. If what you're holding is a pair of pants that you've been hoping to wear someday because they're fancy or they're a size you've been striving for, could someone else benefit from that item more right now than you could if you were to hit that goal and be able to put those pants on? I really like this one because it takes it from a personal, I want this, to a, wow, somebody could use this item and it would help them so much more than my, I got to put those pants on. It's probably not even a style or color you would want by the time you get around to that. So whether it's glassware, furniture, crafting items, glasses, tools, whatever it is, if someone else could benefit from it more right now than you might be able to do someday, let it go, especially if it's an item that you could borrow or rent from someone else. This last one is the trickiest one, but I love this one. And I've gotten a lot of clients to really look at their items and go, you know what, you're right. If this disappeared, would I even notice? I love this one because how many times have you been decluttering or going through a space and you say, wait, guess with me. Oh, I forgot I even had this. You haven't thought about it. You haven't needed it. You haven't gone looking for it. But now that you've seen it and remembered it, you want to keep it. If you're coming across this a lot, I know you're going to have to go through the previous questions of, would I buy this again today? When's the last time I used it? Could somebody else benefit from this more? But if all of those are, nope, I don't need it. Nope, I haven't looked for it. Yes, somebody else could use it. Nope, I wouldn't even notice if this was gone. It's an easy one to let go of. So now that we've identified those things that you might be able to let go of, what is a better option than donating? Try this instead. If you have items that are in great condition, why not gift them to someone else? Now, I want to caution you. I did a video a long time ago called Passive Purging. And if you don't know what that is, I invite you to watch the video down in the description below. But passive purging is when you take all of the things you don't want and you put them in a box or a bag and you take them to someone else and you say, hey, I thought you could use all of this. What happens is that person receives these, and I can't tell you how many times it's happened. I promise I've dealt with clients with this. They say, oh, I got this from so-and-so, so I can't get rid of it. And I'll ask, did they gift it to you because they didn't need it anymore or because they thought of you and wanted to buy you the gift? Oh, no, they didn't need it. Then it wasn't a gift that they thought of and bought to give to you. It was something they didn't need anymore, and they passive purged that off to you, meaning you've now absorbed the obligation to keep it. So if it's an item you know someone else could use, would love, by all means, gift it to them. Just make sure you're not passively purging to your friends and family. Of course, you can always sell things on your local Upcycle, FreeCycle, Facebook Marketplace, Nextdoor. There's so many apps out there. Take that item that still has some value and try and sell it. It doesn't mean you need to make $25 off of a coffee mug, but if you have a couple of good items that can be sold for a couple of dollars each, instead of keeping all of that in a place waiting to have a garage sale, sell them for just a couple of dollars each. You'll feel good because you got to make a little money off it. Someone else will be thrilled because they got new treasures at a bargain price, and you'll get to get rid of all of that clutter without just donating it. This next one is something I did, I'm showing my age, but in the late 80s and early 90s. I had no idea this was a real thing. I was on a limited budget. It feels like I've been like that my whole life. but I wanted new clothes. I had clothes I was getting rid of, and I thought, wow, I know all of my friends are also going through their closets all of the time and getting rid of things. Why don't we have a swap party? So I organized for my friends to all bring over their purses, shoes, scarves, jewelry, and we all put them together. And however many items you brought were the amount of items you could take away. We all got new purses and shoes and accessories and clothes. None of us spent any money, and we were able to get rid of the things we didn't want. And when there were items left over, I found a local community service that helped women in need. I donated it all to them. We all got to feel good about clearing out our closets, and we all got new things that we were excited about. So whether it's cooking items, craft items, gardening items, clothing, try doing a swap party in your community or with your group of friends, and it'll be a fun time to visit, get rid of those things, and get a couple new items to enjoy. Another way to let things go is donating with a purpose. There are a lot of community groups out there who are always trying to do fundraisers. They'll collect items over time and then sell them themselves, but use that money for something really good in the community. A company that I know of that I invite you to look into is Defy. They are the Disabled Artists Foundation Incorporated. They collect gently used with life in them craft items. They box them up and then provide them to people with disabilities who would otherwise not get to get those supplies. And if you're a crafter, you know that is such a therapeutic outlet. I love Defy. I've got their information down in the description below. Check them out. They have multiple ways to donate, but this is a great way to let go of art supplies, craft supplies, knitting supplies, crocheting supplies to someone who would otherwise not be able to get them. It feels good to let them go, knowing that they're going to be helping someone else out so tremendously. If you've got something around your house that you're no longer wanting or just aren't using, look it up on the internet. Oh my gosh, I love all of the ways you can upcycle things. I was faced with that when we got here. My husband had a lot of crystal left over from his mom. I had some crystal. We're not crystal displaying people, and even if we did, I just don't want that space being taken up by something I don't use. Even though I love it, I think it's beautiful. So I was just about to donate it when I thought, oh my gosh, those crystal vases upside down with one of the crystal platters on top will make the most beautiful bird bath. And that's what I've done. And now I am on the hunt for more. So anytime I see someone on my Facebook marketplace getting rid of a crystal vase, I'm right there picking it up because I love seeing these little bird baths, and on some of them are bird feeders, if the bowl on top is smaller, are making such beautiful little things in my garden. So look into upcycling it into something that will be new and exciting in your home. And that way it's not just taking up space in a garage, an attic, a basement, a closet. Upcycling it for something that you could use or even someone else could use as a gift is a great way of getting these things out of your home, breathing fresh life into it, and not having that clutter to just donate. The last thing I'm going to suggest is have a buddy with you. It's so much easier if you have someone who is gently helping you get through these questions of, do you really need to keep this? What are you going to use it for? When was the last time you used it? Does this support the lifestyle you want? Ask yourself these questions. Have somebody hold you accountable. And if you really do want to keep these random items, keep them in a box with the date so that later when you're going through again, you can really reassess with the same questions and make that tough decision later. I would much rather, and I used to tell my clients all of the time, I'd much rather you save it, revisit it in 6 months to a year, and make another decision later than make a snap decision right now and regret it. That's the worst thing. Now, another thing I'm going to say on the piggyback of that is if you've got an item that is easy to replace, it's much easier to let it go, because if you do regret it, you can go ahead and get it again. This is great with, if you have 6 glue guns and you only need 1, go ahead and let the other 5 go. If you do discover, oh no, 2 glue guns would be so helpful, you can get another one. But if you have 6 vintage plates and you haven't ever displayed them, but someday you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get these plates again? They're impossible to replace. don't get rid of them. I did that with my green mercury glass. You can even go back about 6 years. I was decluttering my kitchen. I never displayed them. Well, I seldom displayed them. And I decided to donate them. I regret it. I do. So if you're unsure, put it in a box for a little while, revisit it later. If it's an easy item to replace, it's easier to let it go. But if it's tough, like my green mercury glass, go ahead and keep it and make that decision later. Hopefully some of these help you to make it easier when going through those tougher things. Guilt and emotional attachment are such hard items to navigate around. So there's other ways of like taking a picture of the item that will help you keep it but not have the tangible item there. But hopefully some of these questions will help you. What item do you struggle to let go of the most? Let me know in the comments below. Perhaps someone will be able to give you a suggestion that I hadn't thought of to help you get through those items. Thank you so much for watching today. The next video is going to be a DIY or an upcycle. I haven't quite decided. I've gotten a couple of new things and I'm trying to decide which one I want to do first. We are having a pretty good amount of heat, and if you can tell, humidity. My hair is such a barometer for humidity. So I've been a little reluctant to work outside, and I've not been working in the garage because it's just been the high 90s. But I am planning on doing some sort of something crafty next, so I will present that to you next week when I get to see you. Bye.